we're all thinking what's going to be the next ETH. Maybe it's Cardano or Solana, which I'll get your thoughts on there. But tell me about this really weird relationship between these two, because you've watched ETH go from 7 or 9, and I don't know what Bitcoin would have been at the time, in the thousands maybe, and
$400.
$400. Okay, and now you've seen it creep up, and now you've heard people talking about this concept of the flippening, where ETH becomes worth more than Bitcoin. A Bloomberg analyst yesterday said if Bitcoin caught up to Ethereum's growth, it would be at 100,000. I mean, you get all these people saying weird things. What's Teeka's call? First of all, this weird relationship, how does that play out over 10 years?
Well, comparing the two is saying, it's like comparing an apple with a car. They're different. An apple can never be a car, and a car can never be an apple. I mean, they are just radically different. Or think of it as two different pieces of software. It's like confusing a messaging piece of software and a word processing piece of software. When people say, oh, Bitcoin rival Ethereum is moving ahead, they don't know how dumb they sound. That's like saying, oh, my instant messenger is going to put Google Office out of business. I mean, no, they do two totally different things. So again, to me, the highest and best use of Bitcoin, at least to date, has been a store of value. It's a peerless asset. There'll only ever be 21 million. It's the strongest blockchain in the world. It is, with current technology, it is impossible to hack. And so I love that it's slow. I love that it's ponderous. It's still faster than gold, and gold's worth $12 trillion now. It's far more usable than gold. So in terms of the ultimate value of Bitcoin, Bitcoin has to at least get to a 10 or 12 trillion dollar market cap to match gold. Now, along the way,
which means what price, by the way, roughly?
So that's going to be at least $500,000.
Okay.
So yeah, $500,000 gets you to about a $10 trillion market cap, and that's my target for Bitcoin. My 5-year target for Bitcoin is $500,000.
Okay,
that's where I think we'll be. So, but that's just the first step. Bitcoin is so much more than just that. But this is it's like the internet. The first iteration of the internet, people were putting up pictures of their cats and using email, and that version of the internet was around for years before that next version of the internet came. So if we're looking at Bitcoin, no, right now you can't build on it. It is too slow and it is too expensive. But in the future, there will be second layer solutions. So meaning solutions that will allow you to build on Bitcoin, that will allow you to operate at speed and with a much lower cost. But we're not here yet. My point is, even if that never happens, there's still a fortune to be made in Bitcoin. Now, Ethereum is something completely different. Ethereum is a platform. It's an operating system that other people can build programs on, just like Android or just like iOS. That's the way you have to think of it, except this is a global platform that's agnostic to whoever wants to build on it. There's no third-party gatekeeper saying, you can't build, or we have to take a cut, like Apple does or like Google does. So I think you will see more and more projects migrate to Ethereum. And again, that developer lead that they have, there's maybe 10x more developers on Ethereum than Ethereum's closest rival. So I don't know how you dislodge that. People tried to do that for 30 years to dislodge Microsoft, but they couldn't. They had millions of developers, and those developers didn't want to develop on anything else. They wanted to develop on Microsoft, on MS-DOS. So when people talk about Cardano, they talk about Solana, they talk about all these other projects. We own some of them as trades, and they've done incredibly well for us. But will they dislodge Ethereum? Yeah, it's doubtful. It's really, really doubtful.
Because it's just so ingrained in the ecosystem. So much work has been done around it that it's hard to knock it.
Well, the moat is so big. Think of it this way. If you've got 1 million users and you've got all your technology is running and it hasn't been broken and your smart contracts haven't been hacked and they work, and you've got millions of people using it, it's like uprooting an entire city and moving it to another part of the country. I mean, can you do it? yeah, you can do it, but the opportunity cost and the risk, the enterprise risk, it's just off the charts. So the longer projects stay on Ethereum and the bigger they get, the stickier Ethereum becomes. And it becomes like this black hole that just sucks in resources. And it might not be the best solution. It might not be the fastest. It might not be the cheapest, but mass attracts more mass. Understand that. And understand that it's not the technologically best solution that wins, the technologically best solution that makes you the most money over the long term. It's not. Right. It's the one that has the most amount of devs on it and the most amount of users.